Now, the interview day has arrived. It's the first time you had the chance to show to a potential client or a potential employer who you are. So what are my suggestions? The first one, prepare yourself. And of course, you may not, they may not provide you, okay, which kind of questions will they ask you, or which they can, it depends on the company, it depends on the level you are applying. However, one thing you have an obligation. You need to know the company and you know the position you are applying to. So for example, if it's a project management or a PMO or a Scrum Master on company X, you need to know what's the business of company X. Why are they creating this post? Are they in trouble? How successful they are? Which kind of information? Have you visited their website? Have you checked if they have a strategy that is public? Who are their senior people? What do they think? Which are the corporate values? Do I know someone on my network that I could connect, not to ask for something wrong, like trying to, I would say, change the minds of the, no, but just to get information, just to get, okay, how is it work in this company? Second, on the interview day, be aware to adapt culturally to the style of the organization. This includes the way you dress and the way you position yourself. Why? Because some companies are more formal, so they expect you in a formal dress. Some others don't care. Maybe the interview will be online. Then you need to make sure you have good cameras and this. But this is nothing related to project management. This is related to everything you do. But in the project management space, be ready in your hands with all sorts of examples, real life examples, as you move through the path. If you are on a project manager or a senior PM, you need to have plenty of examples, because the best way to explain and answer a question is to real life examples. It's to real life examples. There is no better way. When someone say, tell me something like this, you must answer with a real life example. You must answer. I had one case that addressed your point. Something happened, I did something, this was the consequence. Another thing that is very important and becoming a very big trend, I know maybe it will not become, because I'm really talking a lot about that. It's about failure. In the past, everybody was so paranoid about hiding their failures. And even in the CV today, I don't know anyone that put, okay, biggest failures, and put the failures. Maybe in the future, but not today. But in the interview, if I'm interviewing you, I want to know your failures. And please, don't answer that all your projects were very successful, that everything went well, that everything was well. This does not work. This does not work. This is not how real life is. So be mindful of asking this, because if someone asks you this and you do not have an answer, or you put these generic answers, people will know that you are not maybe telling the truth, or you are not connected to reality. In both cases, this is a very bad thing, because people want to hire normal people. People don't want to hire people that are, unless you work in theater, people don't want to hire, someone that will represent something that he or she is not. Be very mindful. And every time they give you a chance, try to embed your experience. And in the middle of your experience, you put also the courses and your qualifications. Never, ever answer just with the experience or just, well, oh, how do you handle this? Oh, I did a course that taught me how to handle risk management. No. How do you answer some type of question on risk management and say, let me tell you a case that happened with me. 2 years ago, I was part of the project X, Y, and Z. This project is very confidential, so I cannot give you some details, but we were developing a software and something happened. And I remember, because just before that, I did a course on risk management, and this gave me the ability to use that tool that helped me to address this in advance, so I was able to mitigate that risk. Did you see how different? And another thing that I want to highlight that I just mentioned is about the concept of confidentiality. This is absolutely true. Many of the projects we work are confidential. But we can talk in generic terms. Remember, who is in the other side is not dumb. He or she knows that. And they don't want you to disclose confidential information. So you can be generic. You can say, we were developing a software that would be a breakthrough on that type of industry. And we were a diverse team comprised by people from all over the world, including Asia, Africa, Middle East, and Europe. We had this kind of issue, and we overcame in that way. You are not disclosing. Okay, you are not disclosing. And don't answer and say, I cannot answer this because it's confidential. You can reframe as an example without disclosing a single word of confidential information. Every time you say, I cannot answer this because it's confidential, you're not helping yourself, because I want to know you. I'm not interrogating you. I don't want to arrest you that you need to be defensive. I want just to know what kind of experience you have. And this is what is your value, right? This is what is your value. So always be mindful. At the end, keep your answer short and straight. Don't try to take an answer and get it forever. If the recruiter tells you that it's enough, okay, now I want to know something, and you still want to say something, try to embed that things in the context. So you need to train you need to have a piece of paper in front of you during the interview or in your mind with something like 5 topics I cannot leave this interview without saying it. I need to say this 5. And every time you had a chance, you try to frame the context to include, because then you are presenting yourself and reinforce points on your CV and your personal experience that will help them to evaluate that if you are or not the right candidate for that position. Always think, and remember, many times there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interviews. So you need to be prepared to not repeat yourself 5 times. So every time you finish one interview, take a moment to quickly write a note on what you said and how you answer. Because next week, if they interview you again, you know exactly what you already said, what you want to reinforce, and what things that you would love to say and you didn't have a chance. That will be the time to do that. Think always about that, and this will make you far more prepared for the interview.